Forgive my ignorance. I didn't know you were a minister. What are you a minister for?
Minister for Energy and for connectivity and for Scotland's islands as well. So
that's quite a lot of stuff, isn't it? I mean, shouldn't that be 3 different jobs? Or
well, I'm tempted to say yes, but the First Minister sets these. But yeah, I've got responsibility for the 96 islands that are inhabited. So it's quite nice to go and do loads of visits there. I'm really lucky to have had that as part of the job until COVID kicked in, and then obviously all those visits stopped.
Yeah, so I'll tell you something about energy. You're Minister for Energy. I saw a thing today on Twitter, which was a sea turbine getting launched in Dundee. So is that are we home and dry now? We don't need oil. We can just power the whole country off of turbines, or what?
We're getting there. In last year, 97% of the electricity we consume as a country in Scotland could be provided by renewables, which is fantastic.
What percent?
97.
97%, really?
Yep, and the tidal turbines. But we have to kind of double the amount of electricity we produce to kind of deal with the climate emissions from cars and heating. So we need to keep growing renewables. But for what we need at the moment, we can produce 97% of it through renewables, which is fantastic. We were hoping to achieve 100% by 2020, but we got to 97.
Ah, well, it's not so bad. Not bad. That's a bit like getting 50 out of 55 on the quiz, which would be a tremendous result.
Now, an unlikely one as well, I think.
Thanks for agreeing to this, by the way. And I ever since you agreed to it, and we spoke on Twitter, and we've never actually spoken to each other, but you've consistently said I'm going to be no good at this. So, what's your history with pub quizzes?
There used to be a wee kind of pub quiz and rest in a village nearby. I used to do that, and we were okay. But kind of mid-table obscurity would be probably my standard, I think.
A man of the people, right? Okay, so the format for the quiz is pretty simple. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. They start off easy and get more difficult. So the first one is worth 1 point, and the second one's worth 2 points, and then 3 points, and so on, up to a 10-point question. If you got them all right, you would score 55 points. So no one's done that yet. We've had one score over 50, a few in the 40s, most people in the 30s and the 20s, and but here we go. Let's start off with just
in the teens, perhaps.
Fine. Anyway, let's get started. A nice, easy one to get you going. You'll have no trouble with this. 1 point question. Name any state in the USA whose name begins with the letter A.
Arkansas.
That's a good one. That's a classy one there, to go for.
The Hillbillies, when I was a kid, they were from Arkansas.
That's right, yeah, until they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Right, number 2. What is the largest species of ape?
Gorilla.
Very good. You're up and running. You're doing great. 100% so far. 3-point question now is a film question. In the original Wizard of Oz book, and as well as in the famous film, in which US state, second state tonight, does Dorothy live in? So what state is she from?
I think it's Kansas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're not in Kansas anymore when she goes off to Oz, but she starts off in Kansas. Right, first 3, no problem. They get slightly more difficult. The 4-point question is a 50-50. All right, I'll give you 50-50 for this. So it's about television. Who was the presenter of the UK game show Strike It Lucky in the 1980s and 1990s? Was that Michael Barrymore or Matthew Kelly?
I think it is Michael Barrymore.
Yeah, that's a good answer, yeah. You're not much of a quiz show type of person, or are you too busy running the country?
That's not one I've watched before, but I think I would have... Matthew Kelly did another one, so I was just kind of guessing. Yeah.
Nicely done. Okay, right, 100% so far, right? Number 5, back to no options. Which novel by Roald Dahl is all about a father and son pheasant poaching team?
Oh, crikey. I don't know many Roald Dahl novels, so I'll just have to guess one that I know. So James and the Giant Peach.
No, that's about a giant peach that flies through space and stuff like that. This one's called Danny, Champion of the World.
Oh, I remember that one now, yeah, right enough.
One of his most beloved ones. I don't think it's one I've read, to be honest. I think we got a bit read to this at school, but it was a long time ago. I know I look really young, but I'm exceptionally old. Right, number 6. What fruit is the principal ingredient of guacamole?
Oh, avocado?
Very good. Excellent. No problem at all. Right. Back on the bike. Right. Number 7 is another 50-50 question, and it's about politics. The only British Prime Minister, UK Prime Minister, to be born overseas before Boris Johnson, because he was born in New York, was Andrew Bonar Law, who was Prime Minister during the 1920s. But where was he born? Was he born in India or Canada?
I've got a feeling it was Canada.
That is correct. Yeah, good one. Yeah, it would have been easy to go for India there because there was a lot of like empire families, but good choice. Canada it was. He was born in New Brunswick in 1858. Number 8. Right, we're getting to you've done really well. You've only drawn one so far, but we're into the difficult ones now. This is the 8-point question. So, which English poet wrote the words which were eventually used for the hymn Jerusalem? Obviously, being SNP, you don't listen to this type of thing, but. Obviously, you've got to be aware of the culture of England, and it is St. George's Day, so a wee nod to the English here. So, which English poet wrote the words which were eventually used for the hymn Jerusalem? Who was the writer of the words?
I'm going to say, was it William Blake?
Yeah, really good answer. Excellent. Well dug out. Good stuff. Right, you've just got the 9 and 10-point question left. You're going to get a good score, but it could be an amazing score if you get these. Number 9. What is the name of the giraffe that was the mascot of Toys R Us for around 50 years?
Oh God, I've been at Toys R Us for so many times as well.
Do you have children?
Yes, my son's almost 17 now. So it's a long time since I've been there.
Right.
I can't remember. I have to be honest. I can't remember the answer to that one.
I'll tell you what. This one might be worth a guess. What's the name of the giraffe?
I'm going to guess maybe it begins with G, so I'll say Jeff the giraffe.
Jeffrey the giraffe is the right answer. How about that?
Seriously?
Easy. Now, that's a good answer. That just shows you, folks, it's always worth a guess, right? Jeffrey the giraffe. So
thanks for the opportunity to guess, yeah.
It's fair's fair. Right, the last question, very much like you saw the end of the quiz, but it's a what year question. And you have a window. You've got to get within 2 years of the correct answer to get the points here. So, what year did these two things happen? Nigel Farage became UKIP leader for the first time, and Pluto was reclassified from being a planet to being a dwarf planet. All right, so Pluto was demoted, relegated, chucked out of the big boys club. And Nigel Farage, rhymes with garage, became UKIP leader for the first time. So like I say, you can get this spot on or 2 years out, and this is for a really fantastic score if you get this. I mean, you've got a great score anyway. But
all right, it's 2 year range. So I think I'll say 2010.
Just a little too late. It's 2006.
Crap. Damn. Oh well, sorry.
Language. If you'd got that last one, if you'd got that 10-point question, you would have scored 50, which should be the second biggest score so far. But 10 points off equals 40, which is still really, really good. It's one of the best scores so far. And it definitely means the SNP will be back up the table. You know what I'm going to try and do? I'm going to just look. I have got this. SNP top of the table, 97 points, just edging the Liberals down to 90. Greens tight behind, but the Greens have only played twice, so they're kind of.
That's pretty impressive. Get 89 from 2.
Well, listen, that was a really, really good score, Paul. How did you feel about the questions?
Oh, they were grand. Yeah, it's good to test the brain power there. I'm not sure where the Jeff came from, but. I must have. It was a common sense
guess. No, you did the right thing. You're thinking, right? Okay, he's giving me a guess. Maybe guessable. You know, like marketing. Have you worked in marketing before? Is that a thing you've done?
No, I haven't. No, unfortunately.
What did you do before you're a politician? Because this is one of the things that's been quite interesting is how people find routes into this game. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I was something probably pretty boring actually. I was an economist before I became a politician. So
right.
But you do look at markets and things, but not at branding and things like that.
No.
So, yeah.
So when someone says to me, I'm an economist, it sounds like quite a wide thing. Like, was there a specific thing you were doing?
It was doing a lot of work for universities and colleges to try and work out how many kind of course places needed for different schools. So it's helping sort of forecast that, and then I helped set up something called the University of Highlands and Islands as well. So that was quite a good piece where working for for Highlands Isles Enterprise to try and pull that all together. So it was
Right.
That was
a bunch of different colleges before, and then they put them all together, sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah, there were like 13, and they came together in a kind of network that became a university over a period of time. So it's
right,
cool.
Really
nice to be involved with.
5-point question wrong and the 10-point question wrong, so it's 50. Maximum is 55, so it's 40. It's worth checking because I have got a score wrong before, but hey ho. Listen, that was really fantastic. Well done to you. Just quickly while I've got you, what do you think of Alba? Like, what the whole thing they're saying is like, if you give your second vote to Alba, then you get loads of independence MPs. Is that valid, or what do you think?
Well, certainly in the south, it's not probably the case, because we tend to get sort of pro-independence MSPs elected on the list in the south already through the SNP or the Greens sometimes as well. So I don't think it really holds true in my region. I'll leave it to others who know their regions better what the numbers are. But we certainly in the south would say that argument doesn't really hold here, and it might be true for the Highlands and Islands as well, where we tend to get either SNP or Green list members elected. So if voters are looking to support independence, then they've got an existing way of doing that in these regions.
Okay.
But I've got friends in Alpa, so I don't want to insult them either. Yeah, we're all wanting the same goal ultimately. But
yeah, I mean, it's definitely added a wee bit of interest to the election. Anyway, listen, I did promise you there wouldn't be too much politics chat, so thanks for answering that. Thank you very much for doing the quiz, and good luck for the rest of your campaign.
Thanks very much for being invited, and good luck with the rest of the sessions. Hope it goes well. Bye.
Bye. Right, he was good. To be totally honest, I think he had quite a nice run of questions there compared to some of them, but I don't write these, I don't compile these with any particular person in mind. I've just compiled a few random sets. So I think he got, I mean, it's not easy, is it? Just answering them yourself, but I think he did all right. Yeah.